Hello, this is our group project title, which is Vehicle. So this is presented by me, Tey Kel Xin, Sin Tat, and Chinq. So about ontology domains, which is vehicle. So by proposing the vehicle, we also propose the subtopic, which is the watercraft, the aircraft, motor vehicle, rail vehicle, and vehicles. So after Sir approved it, that Sir mentioned that we have to cover all type of vehicle and component in the vehicle. Therefore, which is by discussing with our teammate, therefore we found out we have added the engines, some views, some speed, about price, and other basic things for the vehicle. So now it's a cluster. The So this is the first classes, which is the cheap vehicle that we have. So the cheap vehicle, the purpose of having cheap vehicle is to identify the vehicle which is lower than 200,000 by using the equivalent to price as a data property accessions, insert it, and then by putting a price as a integer. After we put the price as an integer, the reasoner will auto found out if the vehicle is lower than 200,000, therefore this is called a cheap vehicle. So now this is a second classes, which is called military transport. The military transport is show how vehicle are using. So the purpose of this vehicle maybe is a carry passenger used for racing or military purpose. So by indicate the object property inside prodigy, which has military purpose, and then we add the individual type over there has military purpose, some transportation, then we will get our military transport after we run the reasoner. So below there is the individual that is having military purpose. So the third one is a private transportation. So private transportation is when we indicate the passenger is lower than 5 or equal to 5 by showing by putting a passenger number that the car can carry. Therefore we will know about if a car can carry less than 5 or equal to 5, which is a private transportation. So nowadays is the individuals that are carries less than 5 people or equal to 5. So the fourth one is the land vehicles. Is the purpose of having these classes is to know about the purpose, the type of vehicle, which is on land, on sky, on rail, or on sea. So by insert the has land transformations and transgression, then we will get the land vehicle after we run the reasoner. So like Camrys, Toyota Coaster, Cybertruck, which is a car, truck, all kind of things are in land vehicle. So the fifth one, the hypercar. So the hypercar, which is indicate the car which have over 100,000 of horsepower. So hypercar is equivalent to has car some hypercar. So which means hypercar only valid for car, only then hypercar only valid for car and the horsepower that are more than 1,000, then only called as hypercar. So for our individuals, there's only one example, which is the Bugatti Veyron. So the sixth one is the Boeing aircraft, which is a company. So this company, this is not a company. Boeing aircraft is to indicate the airplanes which is made by Boeing and made in United States. And also is an airplane only can fit with the Boeing aircraft after we run the reasoner. So for example, our individual, which is Boeing 747, which is an airplane and is made by Boeing and is made in United States. therefore after running a regional, we will get a after Boeing 747, then we will get Boeing aircraft down there. So the second one is the Tesla. So the Tesla is a company. So we use this company to indicate the vehicle manufacturer company, which means Tesla must be a company and he must be made by Tesla. So in this picture, the Tesla, which means an individual, and then it should be made in United States also. So these two with curly bracket, which shows about our individual. So that's all for classes. So now I pass to my friends, which is Sin Tat, to continue.
So I'm gonna talk about object property. The first one will be has car. It is used to differentiate the category of car, whether it is a normal car, supercar, or hypercar. The characteristic of the has car is inverse functional because there can only be maximum of one relationship along with the property of that individual. So the second object property will be has price. This object property is to know the price of the vehicle. It is used to define the price, and each vehicle only have one price. So the functional characteristic is selected. The domain will be vehicle and the range will be price because it is the price of a vehicle. The third object property will be made of. It is to define what material the vehicle is made of. The characteristic of this property is asymmetric because a vehicle is made of material, but the material doesn't relate to the vehicle. The fourth one is powered by. This object property is to define the energy to power up the vehicle. The domain would be in vehicle and the range is energy. Therefore, different vehicle has different energy powered by. For example, some vehicle can be powered by both energy, diesel and petrol. The last object property is has horsepower. It is to define the horsepower of the vehicles. The domain is vehicle and the range is horsepower. The characteristic of has horsepower is symmetric because all vehicles must have horsepower and a vehicle without horsepower does not consider as a vehicle. Now I'm going to talk about data property. The first data property is cargo. This is used for vehicles that are able to carry how many cargoes. The domain is set to the class cargo transport and the range will be in integer. The second one is passenger. This is used for vehicles that are able to carry how many passenger. The domain is set to class passenger transport and the range is also integer. Next will be price. This is used for inserting the price of the vehicle. The domain is set to class. The range will be also integer because the value is integer only. For speed data property is to indicate the top speed of a vehicle. Its domain is vehicle and its range will be integer. For the last data property is horsepower. This is to indicate the value, the horsepower value of a vehicle. Same, the range will be integer and domain is vehicle. For the individual data, first will be Camry. It is a car that made from Japan. Sorry, made in Japan, that powered by the petrol N95, made by Toyota and made of steel, and it has an engine of petrol engine. It has lane transportation, and its purpose is to fetch passenger. The next individual is Ninja 1000. It is a bike made by Kawasaki and made in Japan. So the type has bikes will be some Kawasaki bike, and it has component of 2 wheels. It also uses one petrol engine, and its purpose is for transportation. The third individual, Hopper balloon. It is a hot air balloon that made in England, and it has a type as a aerostate some Cameron balloon aircraft. It has engine of one burner, and its purpose is to fetch passenger, and it is powered by natural gas. The fourth one will be MD helicopter 520N Nota. It is made by the company MD Helicopters in United States. It is powered by diesel, made of iron, and has an engine of internal combustion. It also can fetch or can take up to 5 passengers at a price of 800,000. The last one will be a car made by Bugatti, made in France. It has an engine of petrol engine made of aluminium, and it is powered by petrol N97. Its horsepower is 1001, and it can only fit 2 passengers. And I've got to pass to my next group mate, Huey Xin, for the Sparkle query.
So now I'll be presenting the Sparkle query. So this is the first query. This query, we are searching for the vehicle name, the power by what, the energy, and the engine of the vehicle and the speed. We use group concat to link because some of the vehicle are powered by multiple energy, and they have multiple type of engine. So we are using the group concat with a comma to link the result together. And the result we only want to display with the speed more than 100, and we only limit 5 results. So this is the second query. This query, we are using the filter not exist to filter out the vehicle that is powered by natural gas. So which means the result is not the vehicle that powered by natural gas is not shown in the result, and the result is ordered by ascending order with the vehicle name. So this is the third query. This query, we are counting the number of vehicles powered by each energy, and we only show the result that the energy is less than 5. So we only got 3. The others are all more than 5. So it doesn't show it. It doesn't show. So for this query, we are calculating the average horsepower of the vehicle that is made in United States. And this is the result. And this query is selecting the vehicle, the power, and the passenger. We are using the filter bound to filter out the passenger, which means any vehicle with the passenger, any vehicle that is used to fetch passenger, that will not the result will not show in here. And lastly, I will show the class of the protege. So these are all the class we are having. And for example, for the aerostat, we have Cameron balloon aircraft, and under the class, I run reasoner first. So under the class Cameron balloon aircraft, it has 2 instances, which is hopper balloon and hot air balloon. And next, I will show the object property. So these are all the object property that we are having, and the data property. And lastly, the individuals that we have. So these are all the individuals. So for example, these are the types that the hot air balloon have. And I think that's all for the presentation. Thank you.